Alright, so this is my first YouTube video on my YouTube channel, Zachary Ryan Art. The title of it is Who Am I? Because I was watching a video the other day dealing with some illustration stuff and listening to some professional illustrators. And they were talking about your social media presence and the difference in different social medias and what, how they work and what you should use them for. And one of the things the guy talks about is basically like defining who you are. And he talks about how on different feeds he follows those people and he doesn't actually know what they stand for or who they are or what it is that they do, because there's so much stuff on there, so many different random things. And I realized that's me. You scroll through my feed and you're like, what does Zach do again? Isn't he living in Slovakia? Isn't he a teacher? Isn't he supposed to be a missionary or something? Working with kids, telling them about Jesus and things? Wait, what's it? Calligraphy? When did he start doing that? Digital portraits? What? Wow, Sweet Leather Journal. Like, that's my Instagram feed. It's just full of all the different things that I do, which I'm okay with sometimes, but I want to kind of define. You know, I started thinking about that, like who am I? What do I want people to know about me? And what do I stand for? What is it that I do? What am I doing with my life? That could be a lot of different things. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life sometimes. I'm venturing out and trying new things and doing all kinds of different crazy stuff, as you can see by watching my Instagram feed. So, who am I? That's why I'm doing this video. That's why I'm starting a YouTube channel. I've had several people even tell me, like, hey, you really should be like on YouTube. Like, I think you'd be great with some of the stuff you have to say, your personality fits. And then one of the things when they was talking about people who should be on YouTube was people with like outgoing personalities who like to be funny, who like to make people laugh. And basically I was like, oh, I think people tell me that about me sometimes. And at least 2 people, I know it's a huge number, have told me that I should start a YouTube channel. So here I am. Took a vote on my Instagram. Overwhelming results. I think maybe 2 people, or 2 people depending on where you're from, maybe 2 people said no. Everyone else, I think there was like 60 votes up till now, said yes. So here it is, making this YouTube channel. It's gonna happen. Sorry for YouTube people. You're missing out by not wanting me to do this. Anyways, so what am I doing? First of all, I live in Slovakia now. I'm from the US, I live in Slovakia. I'm a missionary here and a teacher. Okay, I feel like God really called me to be here. That's number 1. Okay, being here in Slovakia, working with students. Being a teacher, number 2, I love what I do. It's my 3rd year. I never thought I'd ever be a teacher. I had a friend who told me once, you should be a teacher. I said, you're a crazy person. And then I realized how much I really enjoyed being able to impact students, to inspire them, to help them to have fun in life, to teach them to not be the worst. I have a occasional lecture that I call How to Not Be the Worst Person in the World. And I share stories of people who are the worst that we've all dealt with. So that's what else I do. Now, as I got here, I started all these different crazy hobbies. Like, why? Once I got here, I don't know. Maybe I felt like I finally have free time, which I don't, because now I'm a teacher. For whatever reason, I have now started all these crazy different hobbies. So when I got here, I started doing calligraphy because I went to a workshop because I randomly bought a cheap calligraphy set for a friend, a colleague, and then she was like, hey, there's a workshop you want to go to? I was like, sure. So we went to it, and I loved it. Next thing you know, I start doing research. Next thing you know, I start making my own calligraphy pens because I was like, hey, why not? The very first one I ever made was this guy. Looks pretty cool. Found out eventually you also have to make these things that hold the nibs for doing calligraphy. Kind of looked at a design from some other calligraphy pen makers and came up with this. Then, ooh, sun's getting bright. So then I went from making calligraphy pens and doing calligraphy, and I also, like here, I have little bits and pieces of calligraphy everywhere, all over, like just hanging out because I practice on Saturdays and Sundays and the weekends and whatnot. And so then I made my own pen that I'm really proud of, that I really enjoy. Started doing that, so making calligraphy pens. Well, as I was making these calligraphy pens, I came across like some calligraphy stuff where they said like have a leather pad underneath your writing. So then I was like, oh, that would be nice. So I ordered a piece of leather, and I made like a leather desktop pad for myself, which I have under here, and it is all kinds of messy and covered in stuff. It used to be clean, now it's covered in ink and water marks and circles, which I'm totally okay with. So I started doing calligraphy. Basically, I'm telling you this so you can see how everything kind of like worked out and advanced its way into the fact that now I do different kinds of art, right? So from calligraphy, I started doing leather work because I got this leather. I really liked doing it. When I was home, I found some more, and I found some stencils and ways to do leather, and I saw this journal insert, and I was like, I might try to do a journal just for fun. Next thing you know, I'm knocking out journals for people because I did one for fun, and they're like, I love it, make more for me. So I'm like, all right, sweet. So I started doing leather journals, and then Bible covers and some other leather stuff. And now next weekend, I'm actually going to Budapest to do a workshop on creating and designing my own leather bag that hopefully I'll be able to produce quite a few of and sell for artists. It's another whole story that I'll probably do another YouTube video on. So I went from leather stuff, and then I've always kind of drawn and done some other things. I started doing watercolors the first time I came, and that was a big thing for me. I had a friend who was like, hey, you should really get into watercolors. And I started following somebody who had exactly what I was looking for, their style. And the first watercolor I did, because people look at your stuff and they're like, wow, that's amazing. So I'm just gonna let you guys know, the first one I did was terrible. I don't even like showing people this picture. It's terrifying. And I'm sorry for the person that I did it of, because it's about to be on here. First watercolor, I was like, what? Oh gosh, that is not, we'll just put it away. That is not what I wanted to do at all. And I realized that I thought I could just pick it up, boom, be done. I did that in 30 minutes. It was awful. You saw it. It was bad. Real bad. So then I did it again. This time I said, all right, just one color. This one I spent several hours on. Quite a bit different, okay? Much better. Okay, from here, okay. Now, from then I've moved on and done some other ones. This cute little guy, okay? This is geckos that I used to breed and have. And then this beautiful picture of a Twitch person named Miss Cookies. The lighting kind of makes it look like a zombie, but I promise she doesn't look like a zombie up close. So then I started getting into watercolors and so on. Then from there, doing all of those things all together at the same time. Like I still do calligraphy. Every now and then I still carve a pen. I'm still working on leather journals and advancing my leather stuff. But I got this idea from a friend because I did some random watercolor of an elephant or whatever, and he was like, dude, what if you did like a book and started learning to illustrate and actually created a children's book that would teach people how to watercolor, that they would actually get to practice in the book with these cute animals. So that's when I started getting into illustrating. That's when I started doing things like my cute little foxes that I have over here, okay? These little guys. So I started getting into illustrating, and that's where I kind of am now, really focusing on stuff. I've done a couple little fan art pieces. This is from Spirited Away, Ghibli Studios, or however you pronounce that, Ghibli Studios. Then one of the characters I want to have in the book is this whale shark. So again, getting into that. Then as I'm doing that, I got an iPad Pro through the help of some friends so that I could actually start working digitally, because we know eventually we're going to have to be able to do things digitally. So I got an iPad Pro and I started doing these digital portraits, and I really enjoyed doing them. Like I really enjoyed the difference in like doing things digitally and just how it works. I've always messed around a little bit with Photoshop, but nothing great. So that's what I've started doing now, and I'm getting into more digital illustration, which I really enjoy. And so that's just advancing my drawing, learning things like lighting, learning character creation and what all that looks like. And I'll see things as I go throughout the day and be like, that person would look awesome as a cartoon. Or, oh, what if I created this cartoon or this person, this character where like this lit up whenever they did this. Or like I'm walking through the park and I see these trees with these beautiful flowers, and I'm like, what if it was really dark but the flowers glow? Recently came across a really well-known artist, Lois, or Loish, and she has an incredible book that I started looking at and watching her digital things and how she does them. And I got a lot of inspiration from that. I bought art from artists who have been inspiring me with their illustrations. This is from Jake Parker. This is from Luke Scriven. This is from Small Ords Art. This is also from Luke Scriven, and then I have some over on that wall as well. Ordered some others from another girl, Johanna, who has amazing things. You can see that on my Instagram. So, who am I? That's a great question. What is it that I do? Now you kind of know. I love students. I love telling them about Jesus. I love telling people about Jesus. I love doing art. I feel like God has given me the ability to create and inspire others to create. So my tagline is inspire creativity, because I like to inspire creativity in others. And that's basically what it is. So what am I doing now? I'm learning to illustrate. Wow, that's the main goal. While also still doing some other projects on the side like leatherwork and designing this bag, all revolved around creating new things and inspiring others to create too. So that's who I am. That's what Zachary Ryan Art is. Someone who likes to venture out, try new things, love on people, and inspire people to create. So hope this YouTube video gave you a little bit more of what I am. I know it's a little long. Thank you for all of you who stuck through it and stuck to it. But they actually said, believe it or not, the 7 to 12-minute videos are the good ones. Yeah, we'll see. All right, so you like this, subscribe, tell your friends about it, let them check it out, and we will see what my next videos include. Any thoughts? Put them in the comments. Thank you.